folks, I want to talk to you about the Skagit setup that I have. I know if you want a full in-depth video on how to set up your rod for a Skagit, then look no further than up at the top right, or is it the top left corner, and description will also have it. Now, why would you use a Skagit in these types of setups? Well, the thing is that we're trying to load our rod as best as we can. And if we want to load our rod, we have some options. We essentially need quite a bit of mass at the tip to be able to flex our rod, load it up, and be able to deliver that fly. In this case, what we're doing is we're using streamers. Now, streamers on a Skagit setup are just the best. And now, especially in these types of waters, we don't have much room for a back cast. In fact, there's really no back cast room at all here. So in order to get the most action, the most, I suppose, the most out of our fishing experience, and if we're gonna be, of course, targeting fish with streamers, I find that the most appropriate setup is the Skagit setup. Now, why is it though? Well, it's quite simply because mass moves mass. We can go with a bigger streamer, we can go with small streamers. And at the end of the setup that I have, so my Skagit head, I have a sinking poly leader. Now, don't get that confused with a sink tip. A sink tip is a whole different beast, and we'll get into that on a future video. But for now, we're using what's called a poly leader, and it's a sinking poly leader. This one is a 5" per second sinking poly leader. Now, I am targeting fish in anywhere from 2 feet to 4 feet of depth here. And I find with the flow of water that we have, these poly leaders do a really good job. As well, another thing to note is that the fly I'm using today is actually a non-weighted fly. And the reason for that is because the poly leader is doing the work getting the fly down for us. Now, there are some casts that you're gonna wanna learn for this, and we'll go over some of those casts. And but essentially, all it is they are variations rather of a roll cast. In fact, a roll cast right here is really all you need to start doing Skagit casting. All I'm trying to do is I'm gonna pull back this rod here. I'm gonna wait until right here, the end of my Skagit line touches the water, so hold on a second. And then we just simply roll cast forward. Now, when it comes to roll casts, you don't really change direction, okay? And that's probably the only thing that you can't really do with a roll cast. So you can't truly change the direction of the cast. I mean, you can kind of try, and I did it right there as an example, but it kind of like fizzles out. So we don't really want to try to change too much of a direction because we don't get the control that we're looking for. So we have things, a certain type of casts, such as Spey casts, single Spey, a double Spey, there's Perry pokes, and there's a myriad of fly cast, Spey casts rather, that help us here. But essentially there is one cast that I'm gonna teach you right this second, and that, my friends, is called not just the roll cast that we were just talking about, but this one is the double Spey cast. Essentially, all we're doing is we are lifting up, sweeping across. As soon as we make that D-loop, we let this thing go. Now, the problem is that when you do this cast, if you don't get the timing quite right, then you're not gonna get the cast quite right. But that's okay, because when we're doing these short casts, the mass of the tip is such, or rather the fly line is such, that it kind of enables us to kind of get away with a few mistakes here and there. And that's the beauty part of single hand Skagit setups, especially in these types of, oh, fish on, oh. Well, that's okay, we'll get another one. And what else do we need? That's it. We got the roll cast, the snap tee, the double Spey. I mean, we're good. I mean, geez, I mean, like, you can like You can be one of those like weird Olympic people that like do those ribbons and stuff. I don't even know how that's a bloody sport, but whatever. We caught the tree, that's okay. Anyways, let's go see if we can find some fish now. We're gonna get into some more tighter conditions. This is a good area to learn because we have some forgiveness here. Yes, there are trees, but just to let you know, I can't do a proper cast here without using some form of a roll cast. You just can't do it. We have about, this rod is 7.5 feet and we have about 10 feet behind us. It's not gonna work, folks. So this is where this system works out. We can use a big streamer if we want because the Skagit head will allow us to. We can go small, Skagit head still works. It's just a very versatile way of doing things. The reason why I prefer the Skagit over a regular Spey line, single Spey line, is quite frankly because I have enough mass that I can shoot out a whole bunch of line if need be. But that's not really what we're doing here because we're going in tight quarters, but it just gives you the idea that it's not just for tight quarter fishing. You can go out and bomb this thing 60 feet, easy with this setup. So without further ado, let's see if we can find some fish. All right, let's go. Got him this time. Cool. Sometimes it works, man. Are you gonna catch a ton of fish doing this? Sometimes, and sometimes not. Today it's bluebird day, and you know, it's the middle of the day, so sometimes they're just not into it. You know, you could be doing Euro nymphing or a myriad of nymphing techniques today and they would be doing really well, but there's something to be said about, you know, chucking this little streamer, in this case, for brook trout in really small, tight streams, and being able to do that effectively is really nice, you know? As you can see, you know, you have to work a little hard for the fish here. Black flies are out really bad, so I apologize. Oh, I could see them on the screen. Get off the screen. So if you keep working at it, you're gonna get them. And that's all that matters, is that, you know, you're working hard, and that's all that, to me, that's what fishing is like going out there and, you know, choosing a technique for the day and seeing if it's gonna work, if you're gonna be able to produce. And to me, that's like what a real fisherman is you know, not giving up right away. Sure, I could have caught a bunch of fish on nymphs today, but right now I'm just enjoying this. So anyways, the black flies are bad. I know you're cringing on the phone or on watching on your phone today. I hope you learned something. Links, everything's gonna be in the bottom, so you can kind of take a gander, but let's go catch some more fish. And that's it. I hope you guys found this one entertaining at the very least. All the best. You know, please like and subscribe. Obviously, there's gonna be tons of content coming, and I'm really sorry that I chose a buggy day for this, but all the best, man. See you on the next one.